Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I'm going to be doing another reaction video to someone that you guys have been asking me for months now, and that is Coach Corey Wayne. So I didn't know who he was until you guys recommended him to me. To be honest with you, I don't watch a ton of YouTube, especially people in my space, unless you guys recommend someone to me. So I went to his page and I sorted from most popular, and this is one of his most viewed videos. It has like almost 1.7 million views, but it's from 2012. So I figured it made more sense to cover a more popular video because more people have seen it, more people have probably taken this advice, so I just feel like that makes more sense than reacting to a video that has like 4,000 views, which is what some of his more recent videos have. He's obviously been doing this for a very long time, much longer than me. You guys seem to really like him, so I figured it was time to give him a shot. So the video I'm going to be reacting to is When You Stop Caring, Results Come. And the reason I chose this one, again, it's really popular, but also I think this is a topic that a lot of people talk about and something that I haven't really talked about a ton because it kind of feeds into the whole like playing games idea mentality with dating that I think is prevalent on TikTok a lot these days that I've kind of covered a little bit. So I'm excited to see what he has to say. Let's get started. Oh, feels like Dr. Phil.
Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne. This is
God.
my video coaching newsletter, and the topic of this newsletter is going to be When You Stop Caring, Results Will Come. Got an email here from a viewer. He says, "Hey Coach, I'd like to ask how to behave when you give up on a girl that you liked. For example, say that you liked a girl and she's taken a long time to respond to your text. She goes hot and cold and leaves you waiting to the point you give up. And then she contacts you, but you feel like, what's the point? What is the best way to respond? To tell her thank you for getting in touch, but I'm going to have to decline and explain the reasons why, or just not respond at all or ever?" Well, part of your problem is you're obviously too focused on when somebody gets back to you.
I could tell just from that tiny clip, this guy cares way too much. He clearly so likes her if he cares this much. When you're over someone and you're over the way they treat you, it doesn't matter how you reply because you know that they're flaky and they're shady and they're ghosting you and they're not reliable and they clearly don't like you. Anyway.
And that is an indication of neediness on your part. And so when you act that way and when you think that way and you behave that way, whether you realize it or not, you're actually communicating weakness to women on the other side. And so they start to get the impression from you like that needy, stalkerish kind of behavior, and it causes them to back up and pause, and all of a sudden several days go by, they don't hear back from you, and then they start to think, oh, I was just, the feelings go away, and then they start to wonder, why doesn't he call? I haven't heard from him. And then that's when they reach back out to you. But like I said, if a girl's hot for you and then all of a sudden she goes cold, one of two things is going on. Either A, there's another dude in the picture that she already knew, or maybe it's an ex-boyfriend that she's trying to get back together with. Or B, the other option is that you simply did something.
You're being weird. That's the other option. If someone likes you, they will talk to you. You shouldn't want to be with someone or talk to someone who's like hot and cold, wishy-washy with you. I think when someone likes you, it's very obvious, and if it's not obvious, if you're confused if someone likes you, the answer is that they probably don't. Or they're playing games, and either way, goodbye. I think the biggest thing here too is if you're talking to a girl and you're consistent with her and she's not giving anything back to you, and then you stop talking to her, you stop communicating to her, and then she's all of a sudden like, ooh, well, I'm missing the attention that he gave me, so now I want to talk to him. That is not a good sign. I know some of you will play the game, some of you will do that. I know modern dating is a little bit tricky. I know a lot of women are getting advice, bad advice on TikTok. I've reacted to some videos like this, like be hot and cold, give him pain and pleasure and drop him in the desert and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, can we just be normal humans? And if you like someone, tell them. And if you don't, tell them. It's not that hard. But anyway, I'm starting to get off track here. Really what I want to say is some girls will simply only talk to you because they like the attention that you give them. Some girls don't even like to necessarily talk to you. They don't see a future with you. They don't see anything there with you. They just want the attention. So then when you aren't giving them that attention, they're like, well, where'd he go? Well, what's going on? Why isn't he texting me? And then they get curious. But a girl like that, there's some deep-rooted issues there. Let's just start by saying that. But anyway, I'm gonna let him finish. his thought here. I just wanted to throw that in. Some girls really just want attention from you. They don't even like you. They just want the attention. Don't be a fill-in guy like that.
To screw it up, because if you were doing everything right with a girl, she'd be calling you more and texting you more and pursuing you more and wanting to be with you more, as opposed to less. So there's obviously something that you're doing and saying when you're interacting with these women that are turning them off, and just the fact that you're so focused on when she gets back to you, you've got to stop giving a shit. That can't matter, because there are women out there, and I've met a lot of them over the years. I've had amazing conversations with them. It gives you some real insight into how they think, and because there's so many guys out there that do this, they act like a stalker. It's like the guy will leave a message at, say, 7 o'clock at night, and then he doesn't hear back, and then at 9 o'clock at night he's calling her, and then he calls her the next day, and maybe the girl was out, maybe she's on a date with another dude, or maybe she's out with her girlfriends, and so she looks at her phone, and she sees all these messages, and she thinks, this is fucking weird, and so she can tell from the tone of the dude's voice that he's getting impatient, he's upset, and he's not calling because he wants to see her, he's calling because he doubts that he's got a shot with her. In other words, the only reason why he's calling is because he's trying to get some level of comfort.
It becomes obsessive. It's that one-itis I've talked about. Some of you guys get very obsessed. And that's why I say don't have one-itis. Don't chase after people that aren't giving you anything in return. If it's not being reciprocated, you gotta walk away, or else you just look like an obsessed stalker. I've had guys message me on Instagram. Mind you, I'm in a relationship. Clearly, I'm not romantically interested in you. But they've messaged me on Instagram, like asking for my help even with things, and I don't reply, and they're like, wow, you're the worst, thanks for the help, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're psychotic, chill out. And if that's a reflection of the things you guys are doing with your romantic partners, no wonder they don't want to talk to you if you're acting like that. You get so stalkery and obsessive and weird, just be cool. It's fine. There are 7.6 billion people on the planet. You'll be okay.
Within himself, so he feels better, so he feels like he's got a chance, because what's really going on is deep down he believes that he doesn't deserve to have what he really wants.
Insecurity.
And so he just assumes, he has a belief system that tells him it's just a matter of time before the girl gets rid of you. And so in essence he's trying to prevent that from happening by trying to forcibly interject himself into her life. And when he does that, he acts like a stalker, and of course that's going to cause a woman to back off more and want to have nothing to do with you. So, like I said, that's where you're going. You're doing something, or you're saying something when you're out on dates with these women, and plus you care too much about when she gets back to you, and you got to stop giving a shit. Sometimes it might be 3 or 4 days. What if she went out of town on a business trip? And I wrote about this in my book. I had this girl, I fucking wanted to date her for years, and she always had a boyfriend, and I ran into her. I hadn't seen her for a while, and she's single. And we made a date, and we had this fantastic fucking time on this date, and I was on cloud 9. And then a couple days later, I sent her, I think, an email, or I called her, I can't even remember what it was. This was like 15 years ago. And
how old is he?
A couple days went by, I didn't hear back from her. It was like a day or two went by, and so I sent her this nasty email. I was like, why, what's the deal? And basically, she like a week and a half went by, and then I get this email from her. She's like, hey, I told you I was going to...
email? This is so funny. Okay, this is where the timeline discrepancies are coming in, because now, if you don't hear from a girl for 4 days, she doesn't like you. I don't care if she's traveling. Unless she's on a cruise ship where she doesn't have service on her phone, she does not like you. Everyone has a cell phone. Almost everyone is glued to their phone 24/7. If a girl likes you, she will talk to you. If you haven't heard from her in 4 days, she doesn't like you. So that's kind of where the 2012 versus 2021 thing is kind of coming into play a little bit here. I just wanted to touch on that really quick, because now you don't hear from a girl for more than 48 hours. I would say 24, 48 hours. She does not like you 99% of the time.
In New Orleans, I just didn't know for how long. I just assumed it was for like the weekend or something. She was there for like 2 weeks. And so I sent her this nasty email, and she sends me a nasty email back just saying, hey, basically have a nice life. And I felt like a complete jackass, because it was my impatience and my neediness that totally fucked it up, because I just assumed that it was just a matter of time before she blew me off, because that's what had always happened in the past when I got around women this way. And if I was a bet man, just like I said, from listening to what's going on with what women are doing and how they're reacting to you, it's either these particular girls either have another guy in the picture that they're trying to get back together with, or you're doing and saying something And like I said, just from what you've written here, this communicates neediness to me. And so if you're communicating that in an email, you're obviously communicating that when you're talking to women, leaving messages or whatever it happens to be, in the words that you choose and in the tone of your voice as well. And so that's why you're running into the problems that you're running into. So you gotta let go. It's like you leave a message for a girl, you gotta wait for her to get back to you. And if she doesn't get back to you, guess what? It means she doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't want to see you. And just because a girl gives you her number doesn't mean that she wants to have your child. Because a lot of women will just give out their numbers, figuring, hey, I'll just get rid of the guy later, and I'll just ignore his phone calls, and then he'll get the hint, and he'll go away, as opposed to me rejecting him in person and take the chance on him being one of those guys that won't take no for an answer and won't leave me alone and create an awkward situation when I'm just trying to hang out and have fun with my girlfriends, is what she's thinking. And so like I said, it's just you gotta stop giving a shit. Leave a message, wait for the girl to get back to you, because if you're impatient, you're gonna fuck it up just like that.
When you express interest in someone, the ball's in their court now. Whether they reciprocate that is up to them, and it shouldn't matter to you either way. You can like someone, but if they don't like you back, it doesn't matter. So why are you gonna spend all this time wasting your time obsessing over someone that does not like you back? And just from the snippet that this guy wrote in to Coach Corey, it was so obvious just from that tiny sentence that the girl didn't like him, she just liked the attention he gave her. Because if a girl likes you, she will talk to you. And it shouldn't take you ignoring her for however long for her to reach back out to you. She just wants the attention from you. They're not over their ex-boyfriend yet, and they're talking to you to make themselves feel better. Or they're talking to other guys and you're just one of the guys on the list. It happens all the time. I'm gonna make a whole video about it because I saw some TikToks about it as well. And I think it will be really enlightening for all of you. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna let him finish. I just wanted to throw that in there. The ball is in her court. If you express interest, she doesn't feel the same way, you gotta walk away. You have to respect yourself enough to walk away and not be so obsessive and needy over someone that clearly doesn't like you.
That happened to me one time, and I learned a very valuable lesson for it. And this particular girl, it was love at first sight for me. When I met her, it's just that she had a boyfriend. I think it was like a year or so later, I ran into her because I used to frequent a place where she worked. And so I used to see her all the time, and then I hadn't seen her for several months, run into her, turns out she doesn't have a boyfriend anymore. And I was like, boom, it was a perfect opportunity, and I just totally fucked up because I acted like a needy, insecure jackass. Just in essence, like what you're acting here. So it's not going to help your case if you keep acting this way. Like I said, when you stop caring, the results will come. Leave messages, and the girls that like you, they'll get back to you when they can. And you got to be patient. Otherwise, you'll be blowing really great opportunities unnecessarily.
You know what? Just from this one clip, I like Coach Corey Wayne. He's probably one of my favorites that I've ever reacted to. I think he was very real, very honest. He gave a personal story, genuine, knew what he was talking about clearly, without being bitter. I think that's the main difference here that I saw. You can give good advice and be honest without being bitter or hateful towards a group of people, right? He didn't come on here and say, act like you don't care, to manipulate women, to play games, girls suck, blah, blah, blah. Like, he didn't have to do that to get his point across, which is what so many of these guys on YouTube do. And you know, people can say whatever they want. I don't care. I don't get offended. There's just nicer ways to say things and still be respectful. Just from this one clip, I really liked him. I'm gonna watch some more of his content, maybe some more recent content, because like I said, this was from 2012, which was a very long time ago. I was legitimately in high school. I also wanted to highlight really quickly that when he says stop caring, he doesn't mean like genuinely don't care about people. Don't put in effort. That's not what he's saying. You still have to show interest. That way the ball's in her court and she can do what she wants with it, but don't care so much if she likes you back. You can't control people. You can only deal with what you're given. And so if someone doesn't like you back, you have to be able to walk away from that and still respect yourself and be able to stand on your own. I think that's really what he means when he says stop caring so much about the result. Like, you can care about things and put in effort with things, but you can't control, you know, if a person likes you. She's either going to like you or she's not, and you'll be fine either way. And when you realize that you'll be fine, you're not gonna be needy. You're not gonna be obsessive. You're not gonna be insecure. I talked about it in my Stop Chasing Her video, but you really need to stop chasing people or women If you're a woman watching this, stop chasing a man that doesn't want you. Chase your goals, your dreams, what you want for your life. Become the best you that you can be, and all of this stuff will just happen naturally for you. You're going to attract people naturally because of who you are. So just something to keep in mind. But just to wrap this up, I really liked him. I thought he was great. I'm definitely going to watch more of his content, and I totally understand why you guys have been recommending him. He was a breath of fresh air. So if you guys liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Let me know in the comments down below who you want me to react to next. I have a list of people, but if you guys all vote for the same person, if someone comments and you want me to react to them, like their comment so that I know who should be at the top of my list to react to next. That would be really helpful for me. Obviously want to react to people who you want to see me react to, so definitely be sure to do that. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.